Can someone please tell me where it is written that if you're not the typical ingenue, then you're automatically the mayor's wife? Huh? I've been cast as the mayor's wife in musicals that don't even have a mayor or a town. Then last year, the drama club produces The Music Man, where the mayor's wife is the leading role. And what does our older-than-the-bar director / English / drama / driver's ed teacher, Mr. Grula, cast me as? Townsperson number 13. 13 people. But this year there won't be stages big enough. There won't be lights bright enough. This year, the drama club is staging The Fiddler, and I'm gonna land the role of the girl who gets the boy. The day of the big tryouts is here. The auditorium is packed with the usual psycho fans circling Grula like he's a friggin' Lion King. My name is called and I take to the stage manner born, breathing in that thespian aroma of a freshly shellacked stage and the endearing mist of gray in a can. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Grilla booms over the god mic. Myself? Who is Cassie? Cassie? I have no idea. It seems Grula caught a local production of a chorus line and is now stuck in the 70s. What would you do if you could no longer be in a high school musical? I'd be in a professional musical, is what I should have said, but all I could think of was, there's always color guard. In other words, you would throw crap up in the air and catch it. Hopefully. Let's just hear the song. I started to sweat and think. I was multitasking. What if I don't get cast because I fail at being myself? Who am I? Anyway, my resume? Hello, I'm a teenager. You're lucky I know who the vice president is. By this point in the audition, I'm schwitzing like old Deuteronomy and forget the lyrics to my song. Who forgets the words to Matchmaker? What are there? Like 3? The next day, I brave the hallway of shame, past the fox hugging to see the cast list posted right as it is on Grula's door. Rosie, Mother 12, and the mayor's wife. Since when does Anatevka have a mayor? I wanted to rip that piece of paper off Grula's door and tear it to shreds, like Addie DeLupone does her reviews and sings, "There's gotta be something better than this." But I'm a professional. If I'm going to play a mother, again, I am going to play the mother of all mothers. Here she is, world. Here she is, Grula. My time will come. For such is the magic of the theater that ingenues age into the chorus, while character actors grace into the leads. So, let it go. Let it go. Take me for what I am, because I am changing. And you're gonna love me. How do you like them, egg rolls? Grill.
So, I'm in our school library researching my paper on pheromones when my nostrils catch the faint whiff of cigarettes and certs. I turn around and it isn't David D. leaning over my shoulder. "To-da," he said. "To-da." And I don't know which is more shocking, that David D. is talking to me or that he's in the library. David D. voted most likely to succeed. The Union. In the library, grunting "to-da." And at first I thought he said "to-door" as in the 15th century English monarchy. "You to-da me." It was very Edgar Rice Burroughs. I mean, did David D. actually want me to tutor him, or was tutor a code word for something? What subject? Biology. Okay, definitely a code word. David D. wants to make out with me. Me. Here's my digits. Meet me at my crib tonight, 7:30, and we'll study. Fitting of his rebel status at 8:30, David D. insists on climbing through my bedroom window, even though it's adjacent to my front door. What's up? He runs his fingertips across my limited edition Edward Cullen comforter and then, smelling like trouble and imposter cologne, sits down next to me in his squeaky leather jacket as we prepare to Google. So, David D., what exactly is it that you want to learn? Amoeblas. What exactly about the amoeba is it that you want to learn? How do they do it? Well, they only have one cell, so. Only one cell phone? That sucks. Okay, actually, when I say cell, I mean as in the structural and functional unit of all living organisms, aka the building blocks of life. Oh, like an iPhone. Exactly. After an hour of drilling the asexual reproduction of the common protozoa, it occurs to me David D. wants an actual tutor.
It's the first day of my senior class photo, and I'm getting ready for school. When my mother walks in, when my mother bursts out her yearbook and matter-of-factly flips to a snapshot of her dancing at her prom with Ryan Reynolds. My mother dancing with Deadpool? Mom, when were you planning on sharing this information? Well, you never asked me, she says, like, have you ever dated Ryan Reynolds? Will eventually come up in every mother/daughter conversation. Poor Ryan. I broke his heart. Poor Ryan. I broke his heart when I dumped him for your father. Okay. At this moment, the obvious thing to do was to ask my mother, like, what is your real age? But all I could think of was, she's done it again. My mother has upstaged me yet again. It's not enough that I have to contend with her looking like my sister. Now I have to compete with Ryan Reynolds? She's an overachiever, my mother. Or overbearing, depending upon which therapist we go to. Or talk to. Back in high school, she was voted most likely to become president, but lost class president to someone who was in the drama club. The injustice of which she brings up every second Tuesday in November. She has issues, my mother. A subscription. Actually, when I was nominated Best All Around, she asked, Best All Around what? According to my ex-father, senior year was the time of my mother's life. But Ryan Reynolds? Really? Maybe it was just a superhero-themed prom, and And he was one of those celebrity cutouts you pose with? You don't think she'll show up to my prom accompanied by Zac Efron? Do you? I mean, she is a chaperone. A chaperone's that needs a chaperone. But it is what it is. And what it is jealousy. Whatever. I accept your reward. What? My mother already accepted for me, but leave it to my mother to break Ryan Reynolds' heart and turn around and shipwreck mine.
Grand Slam / final inning / bases loaded, 4 more playoffs, and I'm up at the bat. And all I can think about is my girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend, who is now dating the guy throwing the... I never made it to first base with her, and now I'm expected to hit a home run. She broke up with me on Facebook because I'm told she needs space. Facebook, seriously? I had to find out you broke up with me through my grandmother. MySpace, the final frontier between the pitcher's ears. Cool. Let them walk me. The boy band wannabe. You know they're called One Direction because they're going straight to hell. The ball soars towards the green monsters and the boys are hitting bags. The ball is caught by the outfielder who drops it. And the crowd goes wild as the ball is retrieved and thrown back to the pitcher. I don't know which was worse. My dad burying his hands in his face or my ex clinging to Johnny Southpaw like the face hugger from Alien. My dad takes me to Denny's for a grand slam. I know, but it's like tradition. Somewhere between the bacon and the eggs, my dad says, "Son, you can do better." And now I'm wondering if he means the game or the girl.
On behalf of enthusiastic Americans everywhere, I accept this award for Most Team Spirited. Thank you for recognizing that cheering a grandstand of clinically depressed teens via the fine artwork of synchronized screaming is humanitarian work. One which requires booty shorts while ball players grunt, "That's what I'm talking about! That's what I'm talking about!" No one knows what you're talking about, but who cares? Such is a lot of gender prone to kicking a beanbag around in a ritualistic circle. Oh, I'm not saying girls don't like hacky sack, but we're interested in the actual game. Boys, they just like to kick things while we encourage them to be aggressive. Aggressive. Woo! And then they complain how alpha they are off the field when we need them to be sensitive. Sensitive. Woo! It's really kind of counterproductive. When you think about it, which I have of late, energy draining. Being a scream girl and such, I accept this award as a retirement gift. No longer will I dangle my future atop of girls who'd much rather see me in a leg brace. Come to think of it, I think you should rename this award to Most Mean-Spirited and give it to the person who designed our uniforms. Skorts? Are you kidding me? There's more to life than shaking one's pom-poms.
OMG, Gabby, would you let someone else speak for like 1 freaking second? Like it or not, I popped out of that womb 90 seconds before you, which makes me your bigger sis. Like, show some respect, as I was trying to say. I have the sickest idea for our 3rd annual Sweet 16 bash. You ready? The theme will be Wicked. Wicked? As in the musical? Don't be ignorant, Gabby. Wicked is not a book by Mother. It's a show by Broadway. which in turn is based on The Wizard of Oz, which, FYI, is a movie, not a book. Like, God, Gabby, show some literacy. Anyways, Wicked stars two girls who are like sisters. One is beautiful and pink, like me, and the other green with envy, like you. What? Anyways, let it go. It's only naturally being the smoky icy sturdy big sis. When did someone learn to get so touchy? OMG, skip the Instagrams. We'll go old school by having Jimmy's second grade class hand out the invites, just as flying monkeys. Then, on the big day, you ready? A wind machine will blow our guests onto the yellow brick carpet. I can see it as clear as my skin. You'll enter through the catering hall choking in a green emerald haze fog, while I make my entrance in a cheetah-licious pink bubble. Daddy will buy me one. A bedazzled bubble, cascading from the heavens to the tune of Popular. I want to be unlimited. I am unlimited. Gabby? Still there? Hello? Who hangs up on their sister? That is like Rent, and I'm not that girl.
Ladies and gentlemen of the PTA, would it says nobler to send before your behalf a thespian trope 24601, or to face the sea of trouble by ignoring your ban on Romeo and Juliet, a play you argumentous as a teen sex and suicide, but it is in fact a thespian tragedy that is widely regarded as a tragedy, not a how-to guide. You don't see schools going around and banning guys and dolls because it encourages gambling. Let the records show. The PTA finds just to ban Romeo and Juliet, yet greenlights Grease, a musical play about a virgin who transforms herself into a chain-smoking tramp in order to fit in. Lord of fools, these drama queens be. Grease is not the word. It is in fact a high cholesterol food residue and a country, of course. Now, there are worse things that I could do than go on about a play or two. Even though it is understood, I find Grease trashy and no good. If I may toss in the First Amendment, the way Miss America name drops God. Freedom of speech may not be absolute, but it absolutely includes iambic pentameter. I rest my case.
Shazam! I just pulled Best Dressed out of my hat. Not surprising, as being a magician, I was born in top hat and tails, or as we say in the world of prestigiation, White Rabbit optional. How does she do it, you ask? A different outfit for every class? Impossible! Though the Magician's Code swears me from revealing the secrets of Velcro, one need not be a quick change artist to consider that all wardrobes is in fact an illusion. A scarf to hide a hickey, heels to make you tall, shoulder pads to buff you up, and to further prove further, the symbiotic relationship between fashion and magic and fashion. Watch as I make the debate over the pending dress code disappear. Imagine in your mind's eye, your school cafeteria. Jocks in blue, goths in black, the pink princesses, the golden divas. We already have a dress code. And for my next trick, watch as I make my SAT scores disappear.
Everybody loves a comedian, but nobody wants to lend him money. That's what my economics teacher told me. To which I replied, since when does Kevin Hart need to borrow money? At that point, I was handed a detention slip, which was exactly my plan. Detention is the ideal boot camp to hone the skills of my future profession, comedy. Seriously, stand-up detention is no joke. You have to prove your chops at insult comedy, if only to avoid the punchline of an actual punch. It's a tough crowd. They'll heckle the principal. So I am glad to accept the nomination for your class clown. I'm not one for speeches, but fellow student body, like many a court jester before me, mine is a proud and noble profession. I take solace in the fact that you envy me more than you loathe me. Oh, and Seth Goldstein, I'm sorry for making fun of your lisp for laughs. It was low, and I was desperate. I'm not a bully, I swear. Am I? Anyway, when I become famous...
As your beat poet laureate, I've been tasked with composing the class manifesto that'll be buried beneath the 50-yard line, separating us from them, the present from the future from the past. An artifact of public history that when exhumed 2.5 score from now, we'll totally read as such. Dear future, if you're reading this, dude, you've survived the zombie apocalypse, standardized testing, and the dance craze, twerking. This thing you or your cyborg are holding is called paper, covered with remnants of what used to be called longhand or cursive writing, a context which addresses time in a bottle made from recycled plastic to reduce our generation's carbon footprint, which is like mad big. Yes, dudes, to quote Dylan, the times are like totally changing. Back in the day, if you were caught skipping class, you were sent to reform school. Now if you're caught staying home, you're sentenced to stay home. Back in the day we had a dress code, and now we have code dress. We used to salute the flag as we entered the building, and now we acknowledge a metal detector. Be that as it may, future dudes, by facing our fears with grace, we have paved the way for you to be reading in this bully-free, chillin' like Dylan and your My Little Brony utopia. You're welcome. Love always, class of 2022.